Why does this thing take so long to start recording? Okay, here's fourth period's version 6 test, topic 7 answer key. For this one, I did something new. I drew an exponential equation for you, and I said, hey, find the average rate of change from 5 to 7. 5 to 7 is over here. There's 5 and there's 7. Those values are off the graph. I did that on purpose. I wanted to see if you could interpret and figure out what is this equation from the data points you see. Well, if you see that it's going up by 2 every time, this is an exponential equation of the form y equals a times b to the x. So b is 2. What's a going to be? A is 0.25. You could have plugged those in and found out from 5 to 7, it jumps 8 to 32. Plug it into the average rate of change and find 12. This one is what are the vertical and horizontal asymptotes? Again, got to find the correct GCFs. If there's a common 0 like this one, that means a hole at 5. This is also a common 0. X squared is also a common 0 of 0. So the hole is also at 0. The only thing is a vertical asymptote at 8. If you had to sketch this, that would be a root at -3. You might see that on a test or something on another version. Okay, building functions. How do you find the inverse of this? It's all shown right here. Swap x and y, and then realize this is logarithmic. What's the inverse of a logarithmic? With base 10, it's 10 to this power equals 3y. So 10 to this power equals 3y. The last step to isolate y is divide by 3. So there's another one that's a tough one, but it's a very simple concept that we've dealt with before. There's another problem with composition of function. You got to correctly do double distribution first and then multiply by -7. Down here, this was exactly opposite of what version 5 had. I have 1, 2, 3 terms with logs. First of all, put the constant out front into there. I swear as heaven is my witness, if anybody tries to tell me right now what's 5 plus 9 is 14 plus 8, 22 log something, something, something. These are not like terms. You cannot add them like this. Those are like terms. I can add them. But log 2 plus log 7 are not like terms. The arguments are different. Please, I thought we had this covered after the topic 6 test. By the same token, can you do this? Can I say log 2 plus log 2? Are those like terms? Yes, I can say that's 2 log 2. But if the argument's not exactly the same, you cannot add the arguments together. I had a meltdown last week after I graded you guys' test on that concept. Let's turn the page. I'm the worst teacher on the planet because I can't get you guys to understand and learn that concept. I really need to reevaluate my career choices. Here's another one where you had to correctly determine what the function was in that form. 4 and 5 are right there. What's going on from 4 to 5? I'm multiplying by 4. So repeat that. Multiply by 4 and divide by 4. Which term matches? It's that one. If you can't memorize a unit circle, you get a 0 for trig functions. This is just like the version 5 question, so go see that video, except the number, amplitude, the period, and the midline are a little different. This is just like the version 5 one, except x squared, and this is a little bit different. Go see that video. This is the wind problem. Distance equals rate times time is the root of this problem, but I've got 2 trips. I go out to the burger place and I go back, and it only gives me 1 time. So you have to split the going out trip and the coming back trip into 2 different parts. For both those distances of 140 miles, if the glider flies 65 miles an hour, on one way, the wind is against you, so you got 65 minus the wind. On the other way, the wind is with you, 65 plus the wind. Now, you can take the time and go through how to do all these steps and manipulate, but this is just calculator and algebra and following correct order of operations. That's on you to figure out on your own. If you can't figure it out, come see me in class.